checker, 1-2 selector. That's from my shelf so I could put it upon the table. Peace. Pastor John, Gilead7, Echoes of Oratory Music, Tomorrow Kings, Crystal Radio, and right now, VirgoTwins. I said Tomorrow Kings, right? Yeah, I did. All right, peace. Word. Can't forget that. Better not forget that. So we are dealing with the song Xunantunich today. To go into the song Xunantunich, I'm really glad to talk about it. Yeah, so in some ways this picks up the narrative that is talked about in shadow work. This notion of looking at those things that are not readily seen as being most valuable and as being foundational for various other things. So I thought about that in the context of what is now referred to by scholars as the Maya civilization, especially Maya cities. Sometimes they're called ruinas or ruins. I don't refer to them as such because nothing's really ruined about them to me. They're still as vibrant as they were, even though the passage of the universe has taken its toll on the different structures. They're still here. But anyway, so being that my family is from Belize, you know, my dad is from Belize, and he told me once, I think more than once, he said before I actually visited the country, he said, you need to go to Xunantunich. And when I went, I was really blown away by the way the city is preserved and the energy still there. So when I wrote this song, I did want to have a mystical tinge to it, something that couldn't quite be figured out by the rational intellect, but something that could be felt by the emotive spirit. So kind of connecting this to myself, which is I'm describing myself as El Castillo, which is the main or the largest structure in Xunantunich, which probably was settled mildly in the pre-classic period, probably between 1000 BCE and around 3rd century BCE. But from what we know of Xunantunich, it doesn't really take off in terms of being a political site till around like the 9th century CE, Common Era. And it's abandoned pretty early, many scholars say due to a cataclysmic event. Of course, we know that the inhabitants of these regions were very on top of astronomy. They were very on top of what the world would do, the ways in which the world would come to be in light of its natural composition. So they knew things would happen before they happened. Without the use of so-called modern technology. But anyway, in Belize and in other parts of the region that we've now come to comfortably call Central America, this goes back to Unspoken. Why do we call these things what we call them? Even to look at the word Xunantunich and look at the word Yucatan, which is a part of the region that we're discussing. The word Yucatan is probably a way in which the original inhabitants spoke to the Spanish, asking them, what are you talking about? A Yucatan. If you look at the word in Yucatec Maya, you'll see the correspondence with, well, I don't know what you're saying. Yeah, or listen to how they talk. There are various ways that the word itself references a confusion, a babble of types. And even the word in the Maya that is the Maya language that is spoken in the Chichen Itza region and other places. The word Babel there even means confusion as well as in the Hebrew Bible. But it's interesting how the names of the colonizers become the names of the region, and we don't think about that sometimes. But that's kind of a side. Go back to Unspoken for that shit. But what I wanted to get at is that in Belize, you know, we happen up on ancient cities all the damn time. And most of the times when we find them, we work to preserve them as national monuments. Sometimes we don't, but for the most part we do. But I was thinking about this in relation to my own emceeing and the emceeing of many of us. We've been doing this for a long time, and there may have been a certain heyday, or there may never have been a heyday, but other things, other purveyors, other practitioners of this art may have gotten more attention, but sometimes those other things fade away while you'll still see those who practice the craft in ways that we do, with a devotion to the art still there. I once did a song called Monolith Chameleon.
Seen the moon move for 1,000 centuries back and forth, leaving light and dark in my castle and cycles from south to north. Stood there while they went from turntables to tape players to CDs and MP3s, but like vinyl, I'm going nowhere. Handed upon the earth, I viewed rap and all its worth. When slickers rebirthed, I remember trying to bust a verse. Misshapen, a stutter engraving on my lips made them trip, cause I'd spit like it was nothing, they bugging how we do it. Dropped records in 99, the foundation was faded. Calvin tried to leave me in BC, but I made it though aging, evading or dating by playing on teams of God and Satan. Christian and pagan in the background of all phases, just saying.
Through various phases of emceeing, I've been here and didn't necessarily get the attention other people got, but that's not why it was done. It was done for the purpose of self-discipline. It was done for the purpose of taking the art further. It was done for the purpose of thought and life, various things. So, looking at that in relation to Maya sites in Belize, such as Xunantunich, I reflected on the attention that returned to them after certain periods of time. Now, people who are interested in the sites that are in present-day Mexico, Belize, Guatemala, Honduras, and other places in the region, this is one of the places they come to. And in reference to the various histories that converge in Belize, that tell one not inner connected story. I make reference to the practices of those who were enslaved in the region. Maybe they were there hundreds of years before or thousands of years before the colonizers. There's evidence that attests that may be true. And those who were brought to the region from the continent we now know as Africa. And the ways in which both the inhabitants of the original areas and those who came there intersected, I-N-N-E-R sected, and created something that is very beautiful. The second verse references a bit of that. In the first verse I'm talking about, well, haven't done a record for a long time. It feels like thousands of years. I reference the Apostle Peter saying, well, a day is as 1,000 years. So I talk about that. Well, if that's the case, I haven't done a record in 7 years. So it's been a long time. But I'm still here, ready to set it. And Xunantunich really is a song that references all of these things. I could say more about that, but why? I want you to listen. So keep those in mind as you engage this song and engage the record. And also think about this in relation to the cover, which is a Maya site that has spray cans as its pillars. Polaris Castillo brainstormed that, and you'll see various elements on the cover from Belize and Puerto Rico. So think about that as you enjoy the album cover as well as the record.
I weathered the storm on which most persevered and torn. Bruised so bad that before life exit stays left, they wish they'd never been born. It's like my form is a word, my word is a form. I'm born from a design in the hands of two-legged goddesses. Storm sought to destroy me. Oshun got pissed, swung 6 fists and missed my arm too short to box with this. The wave of a blade left many innocent slayed, and the historical records of a people enslaved decayed. But part and parcel of the original land.
So there's a time that's really upon us right now to where people who practice this religion, the beats, rhymes, b-girling, b-boying, spray cans on walls, whether legal or without governmental permission, DJs cutting it up, the philosophies behind it. There is a time right now when those who practice those things authentically are not returning because they've never left. Xunantunich never left. It's been there. The Maya sites in Belize have never gone anywhere. They've come into attention after bullshit fades away. This is not a value judgment. Well, I guess in some ways it is a value judgment. But when I talk about people who practice the crafts authentically, I'm talking about people who practice the crafts from a place of passion, a place of, well, I'm not doing this because I'm getting something from it. Because many times we don't get shit from it. People who practice the craft because they love it. This is returning, and the skill levels of people who practice the craft from places of passion is getting some attention right now. The old ways are returning, and they're returning by simply being visible.
If Peter was right and the dance is 1,000 years, and if I've been obscure since the fall of 2016, I'm a relic of a relic stacked up but still possess the breath to set it. Abandoned when originals ran from the temple, chased by men with broken pencils. Grass, trees, and weeds grew around the land, MC. I thought they created telekinetic, but even she lost sight of me. My frame with an ISIS, so maybe new windmills to worship ISIS and bow before yellow sky that's conquered by cloaking devices. Now life is kind of playing the fanfare of the past era when I beat at my steed stare, but the boom bap of the rhythm was called kick snare. They climb me on peyote, rhyming mantra slowly, and the code of the latent sorcery, so no forest could forever hold me. Contrary to myth, I've never seen a human sacrifice. It just looked like that from a distance when the artisan squad with wooden eyes. Barbaric and no merit, I was branded, but I rise tomorrow from the